This is the Atelier de la Rose, which is a humble little studio in Montcabrier, France. It's a small village with a population of 40. St. Louis Church is the church where St. Louis was canonized. We're told that after the Revolution, the French Revolution, that many of the churches in the villages were taken under the control of the municipalities, and so the Vatican and the Catholic Church no longer take care of these properties. So that is one of the reasons why the church is in ruin. We've seen people come by here on backpacks because this village is on a walking trail, and they stop here along the way. One thing I find interesting is that a gentleman who lives in Paris, who owns this home here, is the owner of a rare book collection that is housed here in the musée. No one works in the museum, but if the gentleman comes here, he lets people look at the books, but they can't open them, cannot touch them. And we're dying to know what's in those books. This is the bakery, the only business in the village. This is the church, in honor of St. Louis. St. Louis was canonized here, and we learned that St. Louis was the only king who was canonized, but he also was canonized because he was persecuting Muslims and Jews during the Crusades, that makes me sad that someone became a saint and they were plundering other lands. We did find something extremely interesting, and you know locks don't keep us out. On the altar here, there is a lithograph, and the townspeople thought that the lithograph was just an old piece of paper, and we received permission to open up the back of the frame, and it was a Vatican stamped linen lithograph. And I posted on my Facebook page what it says in Latin and also in English, and it's some pretty interesting stuff. The church is falling into ruin. It needs to be restored very, very bad. I did ask what would it take to buy this church, and she said that the municipality could possibly sell because it really is a thorn in their side. It just costs money to have it here, and it could be so many other things. The next store is 2 villages over, so there are no restaurants here, grocery stores, or it's a very, very rural spot in France. What you think I thought when I saw that? Yep. I love looking at all of these old doors And one of the things that I've noticed is that they are all stained very well. They all have beautiful stains on them. Even though the homes are small and humble, it seems that the villagers really take a lot of pride in the village, and they talk about taking care of one another. When someone has a surplus in their garden, everyone gets the benefit of it. That's a nice way to live. As small as this little town is, they still recycle. And I've noticed that because they eat very fresh, they really don't generate a lot of garbage. There are only 3 main streets that run through this little village. Sally, our host, tells us that the government is wanting to shut down the school, and the school has only 30 children, but the children are getting a very good education because the school is small, and they're wanting to shut down the school and bus the children into larger schools. And they worry about the bakery because the parents won't be coming to the village to drop their kids off, and the bakery's business will suffer, and it is the only business that is here. Bonjour. Très bien. All of the houses have these very old grapevines. You can tell the stalks are so big and beautiful, and the grapes are just starting to bloom, but Sally tells us that when the grapes are in full bloom, they just hang in huge bundles. Can you imagine coming home from work and plucking your grapes for the evening? We're very close to Cahors, where they produce wine, and we have wine every night at dinner, and the wine is so smooth. It's amazing. I've been coming to this rose bush every day, and the fragrance is so unbelievable. It's like nothing I've ever smelt before.